Oh, here's a video of. See. Legal immigrants are enraged because people think they should have compassion on illegals who cheated the system. You think that my taxpayer money that I work so hard for, my salary gets cut. You think that money should go to people who cheated the system and are here legally being a criminal. You think I should pay for their healthcare? Are you out of your freaking mind? Alright.
I don't think people from immigrant backgrounds are talking about this enough, so I will. You think that I deserve, or these people deserve my compassion as somebody whose parents came here legally, set up this life for us legally.
Yeah, it's kind of something that I think about a lot. How my parents came here legally, and they don't get this kind of treatment from the government. They came here fair and square after, like, during the war. They came here, or no, after the war, trying to escape like communism from in Vietnam. So my dad came here when he was 18. So my grandparents kind of came here in similar ways. So the way that my mom's dad got here, um, he was like a fisherman, I believe. Like, so there was like no suspicion of him having a boat, building a boat, and just like going offshore and like leaving. I don't remember the story in detail. I think they didn't arrive to America originally. I don't remember what country they landed on first, but eventually they made it to the US as like immigrants. I don't know if they got refugee status or not, cuz I think this was after the war they got here. And I think the same way for my dad's side, similar. My grandpa had a boat. He brought a ton of people over, and then he also was able to sponsor other people in his family. And I have a lot of family that I've never met that are still in Vietnam. I have a very big family here as well. My mom, on my mom's side, so my mom, I have uncles living here, and then I have uncle who recently had a child. And then do I have any other uncles? I think that's just two, I think. And then one, two, three aunts. So I believe six children on my mom's side. Am I missing anyone? I believe there was another child, but she died when she was like a toddler. Oh, she didn't count. It would have been seven if she survived. Yeah, I think that's it. So six on my mom's side, and then on my dad's side, I have my dad, and then I have a lot of uncles. One, two. I don't want to say their names out loud because then they'll dox me. That's probably. He's thinking in my head, dad. So I think that's three, right? Yeah, I think two, and then I think they might be both six. Let's see. Let me think. Yeah, six. So both on both my mom's and dad's side, they have like six. I think it's split evenly by gender as well. No, I think my mom's side has four daughters and two sons, and then on my dad's side, it's three sons and three daughters. Yeah, they came here legally. They like went through the process. They didn't know English, but they actually speak very good English now. Like both my grandparents on both sides. Well, my grandpa died when before I was born. I think actually I can't really say much about him. But my grandma on my nana speaks very good English despite coming here as an adult and not knowing any English. But she's fluent in English. And then on my dad's side, I think my grandpa speaks fluent English. He just didn't talk very much in general though. And I don't think my grandma knew any English, but I don't think she really worked either. But yeah, my grandma had my grand. They had to work. They came here. They had to work. They had a bunch of siblings. Um, not siblings. They had a bunch of children that they take care of, so they had to work. They didn't come here. They didn't get like free things. They didn't get handouts from the government, despite coming from areas of war. Which like, a lot of immigrants have been coming from. They have no war. Like, we have like some from war, like in yes, Palestinian people coming in from war and as refugees, and what it's called, and Ukrainian people coming in as refugees. Those are people that do deserve more leniency, considering they're coming from war zones.
Like, you think
Oh yeah, and this, she's probably gonna say this, but most legal immigrants do not like illegal immigrants. You see a lot of the times like they vote against um, illegal immigration. You see like a lot of people who come here legally vote red a lot of the times because they don't like the idea of illegal immigration.
I need to show compassion for somebody cutting corners? It's like me studying for a test and getting 100, and then somebody cheating and getting 100. I'm supposed to celebrate for them in the exact same way when I put in effort and they didn't, and they cut every corner. Do you think that makes sense? Are you out of your freaking mind that you
Yes, very good point. Why should legal immigrants celebrate people who cheated the system? It doesn't make any sense. We should not have compassion for people who are here illegally.
you think that my taxpayer money that I work so hard for, that my salary gets cut, we get a tax cut from our salary. You think I think that money should go to people who cheated the system and are here illegally?
Yeah, another thing is I don't think our tax dollars should be being spent out of country things as well. Unless like we're allied, I guess, but I don't like the idea of the US constantly sending money to Israel as well, even though they don't unless like we're getting something in return. I don't see the point in sending money to like other countries, specifically Israel. I don't know why the Republican Party or just old people in general for some reason, because Joe Biden also sent money to Israel, seem to like constantly be sending money to Israel despite not getting really anything in return. I don't see any like reason. Our money is basically being spent and we're not getting anything in return for that. Same with like a lot of US aid stuff that was cut, but we still send money to Israel. Doesn't make any sense.
Being a criminal, you think I should pay for their health care? Are you out of your freaking mind? Are you good? Like, in the freaking head? Like, sorry, like, this is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. And now the entire party is on a strike, refusing to sign the government funding thing and passing that, because that's why the furlough is in place, because they're
Actually, I don't even know what. All I know is they shut down the government because Republicans didn't want to spend trillions of dollars on illegal immigrants. But I actually don't know what the actual document was. I should probably look into that.
like, we actually want the trillions of dollars to pay for people who are not eligible for disability, who are not elders, and who are not American citizens, but they still deserve health care, and the Americans need to pay for it.
So, I think I can open another post from JD Vance actually. Yeah, I'll open that later. We'll look at that. That's
You
like related.
must be insane. You must be actually mentally ill. You have to be.
I'll help her. They're retarded.
This is so ridiculous to me. My money goes 10% to God, because praise God for giving me the money. Goes to my country, who actually works so hard to defend me, keep us safe. And then
Thousands of non-essential workers. Suspect that a lot of our money was being wasted on people that weren't actually doing work. And my mom is a government worker. She audits for school districts, or that's what she did before. I don't know what she does now. But she is an essential worker because like during COVID, she had to work from home. So even with the government shutdown, she still has to work.
my family and I, because it's mine, it goes nowhere else. I'll be damned if I have to pay for somebody who's not an American their freaking health insurance. Also, if you think that this should be a thing, I'm convinced you don't have a salary, you don't have a real job, and you don't pay enough taxes. You don't know anything about the tax system. If you do have a salary and you do get a salary cut, then I want you to start practicing what you preach and putting your money where your mouth is.
So I see this like point a lot. I think Asmongold was the one that talked about it first. He's like talked about like suicidal empathy that liberal white women have for other people. But the reason why they're able to have that empathy is because they, a lot of the times, they live in rich areas, so they don't actually get any of the um, like, what are the negatives of like they don't have to experience any of the negatives of the things that they're voting for because they're in an area that's like completely safe. And they're like bringing people or like changing laws, like voting for laws that do not benefit people in lower income neighborhoods, and not, they don't get affected because they're in like in safer neighborhoods. Like voting to defund policing in lower income neighbors where there is more crime, because they and then that like causes a ton of issues because now they are allowing criminals to run free in lower income neighborhoods, and then they're just sitting at home completely safe because they don't need to worry about these policies that they're voting for, and they're just ruining the lives of people who need like more policing or don't that want more policing, like more safety.
So start donating to charities that advocate for giving free healthcare, who advocate for, people starving on the streets, because that's what you care about. It goes hand in hand. I want you to start signing up for volunteer and charity events.
I would love free healthcare for American citizens. It's more like a socialist kind of thing. Like, I am more capitalist, but there are certain things that I want to be free, like education and healthcare. I feel like those are things that need to be free. But I talked about this last stream, how I think the education system needs to be completely redone, reformed. I think we need to remove like teachers from their jobs, like thousands of them. I think I have another like bookmark for that as well.
And practice what you preach, because every time I go to a town volunteer charity event, I don't see a single conservative there. I don't see a single liberal there. They're all conservatives. They're all Republicans. Why is that? You guys love to sit in your bed and post about Gaza and whatever, but when it comes time to actually do something, when it comes time to practice what you preach, it's silent. I don't see a single amount of movement from the left when it comes time to actually do something about anything. You just love to sit there and talk. You guys love to go to these protests about Gaza, like being loud and
Do protests, but don't actually do anything to
like
benefit
walking
people.
your pride parade and like walk, like free Gaza, free Palestine. I want to be a man, I want to be a woman, whatever. And then when it comes time to walk to somebody who needs help, walk to somebody who needs food, it's like, oh, my money's my money all of a sudden. Why do you just start caring about homelessness in America, starvation in America, before you actually start addressing it in other countries? I'm not saying that the Republicans don't care. We care. Unfortunately, our country comes first. America comes first before we start helping other countries. Do you understand?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's weird. We should care about like when you're in an airplane. You think about this. When you're in an airplane, you want to help yourself first every single time. Every time you sit in a plane, they tell you when they're having an issue with the cabin pressure, you put on your mask first, and then you help others, or you get your like life jacket on first, and then you help others. It's like the same thing. Sorry, I'm distracted. I hear things happening outside my door. You want to help yourself first, right? So why should we shouldn't be prioritizing, or the government specifically should not be prioritizing people from different countries. They should be helping American citizens first, reducing homelessness, reducing healthcare costs, reducing education costs. These are all things that they need to work on first, because if we can like cut like funding from like other countries, like spending from like and start focusing on like help actually um, assisting the people where the money is coming from, then if like once everyone is happy here, then maybe we can help other people, or the other people that we send money to also need to be beneficial to us. It needs to be a symbiotic relationship. We can't just have them leeching off of us, which has kind of been a thing in the U.S. for a long time. With you see with U.S. aid, there was a ton of other countries were leeching off of taxpayer dollars, and Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I don't know, cut funding from a lot of those programs, and we realized that we were wasting a ton of money on things that did not even help the countries that much in the first place. A lot of the money that was going out was being pocketed by politicians in those countries and not actually being spent on those people. Oh yeah, that's it. Let's quickly look at the post about JD Vance post quickly. I think I bookmarked it. Should be fine. Let's close this. Ba 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 ba. Mm, where is it? Right here. I think it's this one. Okay. So this is Wade Miller. No clue who these people are. No JD Vance. So here's responding to this. So Chuck Schumer. So this is like multiple responding. Let's like kind of go down the hole quickly. Okay, we're not going that far. Okay, let's start with this. Democrats are prioritizing illegal aliens over American citizens. They are America last radicals. This is a lie. Not a single federal dollar goes to providing health insurance for undocumented immigrants. Not one penny. So there's lying. Hold on, I have this one right here. So right here on paper, Democrats are fighting for healthcare for illegal aliens, not the American people. Subtitle B Health. Section 71109. Alien Medicaid eligibility. Section 71109. Alien Medicaid eligibility. Right there. Republicans would rather lie and shut down the government than protect your healthcare. Saying Republicans shut down the government when Democrats were the ones that voted on it is very disingenuous. Here's how it works: federal dollars go to Democrat states for healthcare, and since the money is fungible, they then move state dollars over to fund illegals, which is made possible by federal dollars filling the gap where state dollars should be going. So functionally, federal dollars are making funding healthcare for illegals possible. On top of that, a lot of this money funds the infrastructure that is then used to provide healthcare benefits to illegals. On top of that, any illegal committing fraud that has gone undetected could qualify for coverage. And how hard are liberal states looking at that problem? Not much at all on that. And then this one. JD Vance's response: this is important. Money is fungible, and it's why the Democrats and media lie that healthcare is not going to illegals is so preposterous. Considering, for instance, two state Medicaid programs, Ohio and New York. New York gives Medicaid to illegals, and Ohio doesn't. When the government gives billions of dollars to New York for Medicaid, that frees up state money in New York that can then be spent on illegals. If it's like if you give a mobster $100, but he promises you he won't spend the money to buy a gun and commit a crime. Well, he takes the $100 you gave him and buys food, and then takes the money he would have spent on food and uses that money to buy a gun instead. This is what money fungible means. Additionally, because medical services are limited in supply, and when an illegal accesses healthcare, it drives up the cost for everyone. So New Yorkers are paying a higher price for medical services, and the federal government is subsidizing those higher prices. So everyone in the media, from Stephen Polis to Jake Tapper, repeating these Democratic talking points, is engaged in the Democratic propaganda war. Democrats shut down the government to give healthcare money to illegal aliens. It's really that simple. So people, like, it's more of a liberal thing to want like free healthcare, and but liberals are willing to spend more money on illegal immigrants, lowering the supply, making healthcare more expensive. So yeah, that's kind of what the suicidal empathy I was talking about. They vote for programs that um, affect lower income people negatively, and then doesn't really change anything for people in higher income. So that's so like it, and the only ones that's benefiting it is illegal immigrants. So I think that's it. That's be it for now.